think we're live. Hopefully we're live. It is the 14th of December, 2023, and it is our last live coding session of the year. We've been doing this Plutus PBL live coding from Gimbalabs and Friends for the last 9 months since the middle of March. And the End Friends part has really caught fire over the last few months. We've had lectures about different methods of transaction building already from Martin Adriano. We've had a bunch from Mix. We heard from Piotr yesterday regarding Helios, Adrian recently regarding Atlas. Hinson took us through the new features of Mesh. The list probably goes on. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting anybody, but thanks for everybody who's stepped up. And it's been really exciting to end the year on this note. For anybody who's just catching up with this or wants to see the archive, this is the PlutusPBL.io website. It currently houses the PPBL 2023 course, but we're closing this course. The content will still be live until we're ready to release 2024. But you will no longer be able to mint contributor tokens or to commit to assignments while we regroup and prepare for what's coming in 2024. There's a massive archive. Like I said, we've been meeting since the middle of March. Wow, it'll be 9 months tomorrow since we kicked off the first live session. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see this. But anybody who visits this page, plutuspbl.io/live coding, you can see an archive of our prior meetings. And on many of these, there's a link to our video recording archived on YouTube because we've been going live. Now, if anybody wants to take all of these videos and feed them into an AI machine and see what we can learn from it, you are welcome to. This is all open. And my understanding is some of the new Google APIs released this week allow us to hook up a YouTube channel and see what we can learn. So we have a treasure trove of resources right here for all of us to keep learning from, and more importantly, to build on into the future. So what's coming next? Well, this year there was this single Plutus PBL course. We got started, we got people to write their first smart contracts and transactions. We made a strong effort to help people build a mental model about what a UTXO is and what a transaction is. We looked at connecting to front-end applications. We started by using Mesh, but as we'll see today, we haven't limited ourselves to that. We looked at ways to mint tokens, to mint NFTs, and then we tied it all together with a project. The specializing and contributing part for the second straight year, we haven't completed all of these modules. We got a lot of people up to these points, but what we're continuing to learn is that it's really hard work to write great content and to write great projects, right? Adriano, how does it feel writing documentation compared to writing code? We know this is a bottleneck in everything we do, okay? So instead of trying to collect it all in one place in 2024, the biggest change coming our way is that the core of this Plutus PBL course is still going to be relevant. People need to have a mental model for how smart contracts, validators, transactions, UTXOs, and tokens fit together to build applications. But then after this course provides those essentials, we're going to have different PBL courses that operate independently and can interoperate when they want to, right? So Martin, I know that you've got a proposal in to drive forward some of the work that we're going to be looking at today, right? And maybe we can start to imagine a dedicated game changer PBL instead of just a few lessons in a course. And when you build that, one of the most exciting things that we're going to see in 2024 is what blockchain already taught us. How do Bitcoin miners work? Well, they're all competing with each other to mint blocks while collaborating with each other at the same time to secure a global network. And this new cocktail of collaboration and competition happening at the same time, I think we're only just starting to see how that's really going to change the world. Because Game Changer is competing with other libraries, with other SDKs, with other ways of writing smart contracts and building applications. But even as you compete with other SDKs doing similar things, you're all lifting each other up. And if you teach a Game Changer PBL, some of the lessons you teach will be relevant to your competitors. And now imagine what happens for learners if Game Changer is teaching people about validators and the UTXO model. And over here, Mesh PBL is doing the same thing, right? And our goal is not to say we have the one best solution. Our goal is to build a decentralized and distributed ecosystem of developers on this new global financial operating system. Why? Because it's more robust. It's more likely to last, and it's more likely to solve real problems. So that's what we're going to start to see is this network of different PBL courses emerging. But the work I promise to focus on is I'm always going to be looking for ways for those competitors to collaborate with each other and for everybody to make sure that we all build better systems together. Okay. Any questions about what's coming up in 2024? I'm excited about it. And we'll release, just for anybody who's interested, if you've been participating in PPBL 2023, if you have a contributor token on pre-prod, we're going to make sure that that has some value to you as 2024 starts. So look for announcements in the Gimbalabs Discord, and look for a series of blog posts that we'll release in January to describe more in detail what I'm sharing right now. Okay. We're really excited to invite anybody who wants to and who has been participating to contribute to the work I'm describing. So much more to come on that, but I already went for way longer than the 2 minutes. I promised to keep it under, of course, and I'm really excited to hand it off today. Adriano, you said not to you, to Martin. So to hand it off to Martin, I know you guys have been collaborating to take Game Changer beyond where it is, right? You call it a wallet, but is it even appropriate to call it a wallet anymore? Or does it need a different name, this thing you built? Grateful for you guys. And what have you got for us today?
Yeah, we've been hacking on Game Changer for a little while. And yeah, did payment systems. I have done some proposals already with Adriano on Game Changer. And yeah, I like the protocol, and I have now some experience. So it's cool to take it a step further every time.
Thanks, Martin, for everything you're doing. And thanks for the space, guys. Thanks, James, and everybody here for pushing the development, ecosystem on Cardano, because there is so much to do yet. So thanks. Yeah. Hey, Martin, tell us about what you are showing.
Yeah, we have a proposal. I do this together with Adriano as an advisor. I want to use Andamio, so James's project is this is a combination of a lot of other different things which come together and make developing on Cardano much easier, I think. And yeah, to put that on a learning platform that is Andamio, that is just also on Cardano. Yeah, that's just a perfect combination. It's all decentralized and on the blockchain, and yeah, I think if you put this all together, it's some kind of magic.
Awesome.
Yeah, if people are interested in giving us a hand or commenting or supporting. It's appreciated. We have some funding to make a real Andamio course and also propel Andamio further. I think that would be, for me, an interesting and cool project to do. We did some stuff before, like payments with Game Changer, using QR codes, and also making gift wallets. But now we've gone a step further. We are working on some kind of integrated development environment. So I'm gonna start it. We've just been working on it 10 minutes before, so it is very hot off the presses. Like the idea is, you have this Game Changer script, which is already doing transactions, but Game Changer script can also handle contracts. And the contract can be written in Helios. And we made this like tab interface. It's very basic. Lots of stuff are not working. This is all not working yet. Like the name. Like we want to. The interesting thing of Game Changer is that you also have on-chain storage. So what we've seen yesterday and what happens a lot is that you don't know a contract that is on-chain. It's very hard to learn from it. Like if you see an HTML page, you can press the look at the source button and you see what's going on. That is on Cardano a little bit difficult. What we intend to do with this is that we store these files together with deploying your contract on-chain. So the contract has a reference to the original source code to make it work. So it's the contract is on-chain and working, but it's also right away documented on how to use it. So this is very basic. Like we have here this token locking and unlocking script. Like you have the datum, you add to the script, and this gets stored in the transaction, not stored in the contract, and you can unlock it when the redeemer is the same number. So this is then a specification of the datum, and of course the redeemer is in this case the same, which gets passed into, like we have some this is like a file, so you refer to the file, and this is not really part of the Game Changer language, but this is more part of the IDE at the moment. So you put all these files you put together into a complete Game Changer script, but this makes it easier because you have to put a hex string here. And what would be nice, which is now in Game Changer, if you're in the wallet, you have to first make this contract string. And it would be nice to speed up your development to have it also do that automatically for you. So what this IDE does at the moment, you can change your contract, and then if you run the contract with this button, the hex string gets inserted here automatically. So you can work with it and then immediately test your changes. And this is what we're going to do now. So fingers crossed.
Martin? is the screen sharing frozen for you guys, or it's just me?
Yeah, for me too.
Really? You're not seeing anything?
Martin, everything you said was perfect, but we was only watching a single frame.
Oh,
Now it updated a bit. Can you maybe do it again?
oh, it's very slow, maybe.
Okay.
Oh, that's could be a Zoom issue. Do you see now the Game Changer website, or you don't?
Yes, but it's frozen.
We see the action request.
Yeah. I see that too, but I didn't do anything. So
Okay.
No, but the ad, the edits.
Sometimes when I'm screen sharing on Zoom, I tap the pause screen share button without noticing I did it. So we'll let you know if it gets stuck again.
are you now in the following screen?
Move your mouse.
No, it's frozen. It's
No, it's
frozen.
frozen.
Oh, we still see the Game Changer website.
Yeah,
I am
just
now in the signing part of the contract.
Nope, don't see it. Can you see your Zoom toolbar? Maybe the pause is engaged.
No, I can try to restart it. Do you
No.
see now something?
Same thing.
same
No.
thing.
Stop share. Let's try again. Ah, I thought it was fixed. And it works with Jitsi, which we use sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm now trying to do a window share.
Okay. Can you move, scroll a bit? Maybe that's, yeah, it's working now. Yeah.
Working?
Yep. Perfect. No.
Nice. Okay.
Can you recap a bit?
Better.
Maybe.
Can I start over?
This quick, a quick one.
So I will do that now. We made this contract with the token, and then we sign it. We have to wait for it to continue. But yeah, this is as far as we've gotten. So this is like an instruction video, hacking tutorial thing. So we're actually just going to modify the source code, which is a lot more fun, but a lot more things can go wrong. So the code is actually also on GitHub, so it's open source. I can post it, maybe. Repositories. What's it doing? Oh. GC IDE React. So it's a React app, what we have learned here at Gimbalabs. Well, before I couldn't do any React programming, but yeah, now I can. And well, we're using that knowledge right now, which is very cool. How can I? Oh, it's under more chat. I put the GitHub in the chat, so you can play it with it as well. It's just well, it's very simple. You can learn a lot about how Game Changer works. It's just pure React with Bootstrap as a user interface, but not a lot of complicated things. And basically anybody can write an IDE. And yeah, that's the nice thing about the Game Changer wallet. What James referred to before, a Game Changer is a wallet, but it is a wallet with a integrated back end. So it can run your scripts. So yeah, it does basically everything a wallet maybe should do, I think. So Most wallets, like other wallets, are just signing your transactions, but Game Changer can actually take a lot of the effort that a DApp now does and do that for you, so you don't need to run a backend yourself. This is just what Game Changer is doing for you. Okay, so I can give you a small overview of how the code works. Of course, but you're probably not seeing my ID. You're not seeing Visual Studio Code now, right?
No, no, Martin, just the ID, your ID.
What do you mean the playground? Yeah. Stop sharing. For some reason, well, I'm not sure if that has to do with if this has to do with that I'm using a different window. I'm not using the X server, and maybe that has to do with the security stuff. I don't know. Could be, but you can see my Visual Studio Code now?
Yes, yes, we can.
Perfect. We start at the beginning. We have several components. This is the top bar where you have the search fields. It's using like this panel, resizable panels, which is like a React module you can install. And it's using the Monaco browser, which is the same component Visual Studio Code uses to display your code. So you can do syntax highlighting with that, which you just saw before. So it can help you write your code. And there's this component with the tabs. You can go through the components a little bit. Search. We have like the search component with like a drop down of stuff we want to do in the future. Maybe make it easy to create your own private testnet or deploy it in a more so that all your code is documented way, some special functions, and maybe there's lots of stuff you can do with Game Changer, which makes your life very easy. And it's nice that with this way of working, you would not need to install a lot of stuff. You can just straight away start working with it. This is the sidebar with some of the. Oh no, it's not the sidebar though. This is the. This is the search. And it has a sidebar. Again, here using a lot of the Bootstrap components, and in the sidebar is the play button, which is this button. Play fill. It's a button you can get from Bootstrap. There's a cool web page where you can just search for the icons, so you don't need to create them yourself, or there's so many that usually for any use case you can just find your own icon that is from this Bootstrap icon React module. From this play button we have a handle click, and the handle click runs it takes all the files. At the moment we're using the index in the way they're ordered on the sidebar. yeah, so this is all just like very mock-up at the moment still. We have to make this generic so you can create new files and refer to files, and now we just hard code it. So the contracts gets final end product is the game changer script, and yeah, we just replace the stuff we need to replace. So here is the magic that happens with the contract. The contract gets changed to a hex string for you and then put into the finalized compiled script. Yeah, same thing for the datum and the redeemer, but yeah, if we make this more generic, we can just make this automatic based on the number of files you have. So that's the stuff we need to do yet. But for now, it works. This is like, yeah, the tab component is where all the panels are, and that is what we have a list of files. We map over this to make the tabs, and we use like a generic context, and we have like a function over here in add context where we you can make a like a interval, and all the files get saved every, what is it, 25 seconds at the moment. So there's a autosave function, and the context is like a global context. So every time we update the whole context, so in every component where you import the context, you have access to the whole context. So, and the context is like very broadly speaking, we have like a file where the context is stored. And this is basically the file we are going to upload to Game Changer file system. Let's have a look. It's in the data folder, and there's gonna be more of these project files where you can have just examples, or we also want to make like the Game Changer file system, which is on-chain searchable. So if you have the top search bar, you can also find contracts which are already online, which or on-chain, which would be great if you have like you could just search for Sunday Swap and you see all the Sunday Swap contracts. It's not at the moment, but it could be with Game Changer. Yeah, this is just the file with all the data. So even the theme color, this doesn't work yet, but we intend to put everything on there. And these items are the files. So we describe the files. It's all just in one like variable. So it's not really different files, but we call them files and we display them as files. But this is easier because of JavaScript. It's very hard to import files separately. It's easier to import a variable, so we can use it separately. This, of course, on-chain, it could be different. We could split up the files and put them as separate files on Game Changer file system. But that's more like an implementation detail. The tab component, it puts all kind of panels, and these panels are filled with a source viewer, which is like a wrapper around the Monaco. Where is it? Editor. If you import this Monaco editor React, you can use the Monaco editor and you pass in like the values. The value is like you get this from the context, and with well, we also load the Helios language. You can have you can load your own syntaxes, and the the data is this one, and this is like the currently open item, and we get that from, we pass that in as a property. So the current tab is the current current data we have to get from the context. So the context is really what we just showed you here. Context, the project gets loaded into the context. And so, yeah, that's a separate part of that. That component, I've talked about that. Yeah, it gets in the source viewer, and that's about it, really. Are there any questions about this?
It's a good context on context. Thank you.
It's a little bit of everything. Yeah.
It's an awesome work, Martin. Really, congratulations. It's so far, because this is very new, this code, I guess it has less than a week. And it's looking so promising. Keep in mind that it's like JavaScript, for example. You have the syntax, you have the language, but you at the very beginning you lack the import statements, the required statements, the way you can deal with files and create IDEs. This work that Martin is doing is awesome because you can now it's like you have the runtime execution engine, if we can call it that way, but now we have a way to deal with the code through files, through a project, to create like a first transpiling of these files into the final JSON script that is going to be executed on client side on the user's wallets. So Martin, love it. So far, it's okay. Don't worry about the things that are mocked. We know in a very few days, I know it's going to be perfect. We love it.
And so can I ask a question about the vision for what happens next? Based on what I'm seeing here, Game Changer, we could almost compare it to OpenAI, right? It's like this back end that people can use in a bunch of different ways, right? And then you've got this public interface, the Game Changer finance website itself. It's kind of like your ChatGPT. Okay, this is your entry point. But power users of OpenAI, they start to create, train on their own data sets and start to build their own custom agents. And that's kind of what I see Martin providing here, is the ability for anybody to spin up a dedicated IDE. But who would you be most excited to take that on? Right? Like what would be the greatest success case in terms of people spinning up their own dedicated IDEs, and for what use cases?
Martin, do you want to answer?
For me, it's just to learn the Helios smart contract, because this is like it's quick to make, really. And there's of course all kinds of rabbit holes you can go into, but yeah, I just want to do it very fast. Like now I can do Helios code typing and then just see what happens. So yeah, it would be nice if you can just click make a local devnet, and then yeah, I think it's for learners. I think for onboarding people, that would be awesome. So that fits in very well with Andamio, of course.
Yeah, I agree. Right, there's a much shorter feedback loop in this system from understanding what a validator is and how I can tweak it than there would be when I have to compile Plutus TX and then build a transaction in order just to see if my validator works.
Yeah, it's all a little bit more standardized, so
Mhm.
you can make less mistakes. And yeah, you don't have to set up the backend, so that's a benefit.
I think, if I may, adding to what Martin said, that I am seeing this as a trend that is coming to Cardano, because it was, I mean, the inventors of the smart contracts and more rich transactions on blockchain space was Ethereum, and all that world of possibilities, all the flexibility that we expect from decentralized applications are concentrated on a single, if I can say, product or solution that is, in that case, Solidity code, right? It's just, okay, so if I just want to make a payment, or I want to create a whole yield farming based on several dexes and whatever, it's the same centralized, and in this case, decentralization, I really believe it's very good for onboarding developers and for expanding the ecosystem. So all this flexibility is on a single product, on a single solution. It's called Solidity. Okay, and there is where that is how Ethereum had this Cambric explosion of possibilities of the apps and of clones, of copycats of that former blockchain into a very successful product. I won't say successful technically, because we know we are Cardano, we have our strengths and our differences.
That's bad sides.
Yeah, but since the beginning, I really, because imagine when Game Changer started, there was no other product out there, no other wallet, community wallet with the app connecting to it. So I really put attention into that, into what was the benefits of Ethereum for developers and for the apps. And we are happy with Martin to being able to do all the stuff we are doing nowadays, because it's the progression of a single idea of bringing back to Cardano what we lost, what we missed, because we differentiate a lot from Ethereum. But Ethereum has its strengths as well. So adding what I feel we lost is this model where the wallet itself, it's like a single source of truth and provides all the tooling you need for on-chain and off-chain code. So if you just want to deal with Cardano, you just delegate to the wallet the piece of code that interacts with Cardano. As simple as that. And that's game changer since 2021. Of course, version 1 has had a very limiting API because that's something that here is where we differentiate a lot from Ethereum. That Ethereum, the flexibility on Ethereum depends on developers' will. On Cardano, the basic building blocks that we can find are already natively provided from the protocol itself. Are the transaction features that we consume to build transactions, to build applications. So as Cardano grow, the logical future for Game Changer was to turn the API into a DSL, a scripting language.
Yeah,
to
but
handle the flexibility.
Maybe Andamio is a very good fit for Game Changer. To answer James's question.
Sure. The nice thing is that
at the same time is the protocol is documented and you can learn from the system to build another system on top, or a better system.
Exactly, Martin. The nice thing, two quick things. I won't talk too much, but what you're saying, client side, client side, or I mean, running 100% on frontends, on user frontends, full off-chain and on-chain code. This, for me, regarding decentralization, is the beauty of what we all are doing. So to have that on, for example, on Andamio, that's nice. To have a run me button maybe, or something like that you can just experiment there, as CodePen, for example, allows you to, or GS Fiddle, whatever, all those online solutions. So right there on users browsers, you have on-chain and off-chain code. On the other side, what Martin is saying, that goes beyond just open sourcing your code in a way that is transparent and is accessible by everyone. It goes a bit further than that. It means that if you store the entire source code of your project, source code that will be executed by the wallet itself, by your DApp, if you store that code on-chain, then you are improving interoperability on Cardano and open source collaboration. Because it's not just, okay, I put the code on GitHub and whatever. No, it's like I put it on GitHub and now other projects can directly import that code automatically to their solutions. So we are bringing back what Solidity had to Cardano with GCFS and GCScript. And this is what Martin is saying. It's not only documenting code, it's allowing builders to build upon others' work for the first time without the boundaries of specific languages. Like, for example, if I like Rust, how the heck then I can build on Python or something like that. So with GCScript, there is JSON and URLs to connect to the wallet, and GCFS, that is this on-chain file system. We have GitHub for Cardano on-chain, on Cardano.
That's the next step in this. This is, you could even say this playground is already something like that, because it is very easy to write a script to store what we have just made on GCFS. It's just the script part we can just change, and then the search bar would just search online the every script that's put on there, and you could just say, oh, this is a nice starting point, and then I think the part of why the web exploded is because you could copy it easily, and that is like we're all monkeys, right? So you need to copy. Like learning is a lot like copying. You copy and then 99%, and you add 2%, and if you get more experience, you can add 5%. But yeah, it is
describing AI.
Yeah, what I do with coding, once you have the pattern, and I got a lot of help from Adriano in this project. If you have the pattern, it's like, oh, I can just copy the pattern, and then it's like a template. I just need to tweak this stuff, and then you console.log it, every variable, and then you say, oh, this is not going right, and you get every step a little closer. But it is, this is my process, and I think the learning process is like experimenting and failing and improving, and then at some point you're at a place you thought you would never get to. You think it's easy to put Andamio on Game Changer? Could we? Is it possible, do you think? Or
You know how I feel about the word easy, but I think it's definitely doable. Yeah. We have, I mean,
it would be a cool hacking session.
oh, absolutely. Right. What we know is that the initial Andamio instance, and zooming out for a second, right? Andamio is a set of smart contracts that enable us to connect as a network of learners and contributors, right? It's also uniquely built to be a multi-headed application with everybody running their own instance if they want to. And as such, the UI that we use to interact with it, there can be many different UIs moving forward. And that's part of what I'm really excited about with what you have here. Just like you're saying, you just showed us a pattern for how to build our own IDE, and other people can copy that and make it their own, right? Same is true of Andamio. And sure, we've built one front-end app template for it so far, just to show what it does. But the idea is that anybody's going to be able to take the JavaScript library that we've already built, the APIs that we're currently building, and build a different interface for it, right? Now, who knows where that goes, but yeah, given this one interface we have so far, it's already compatible with what you have here because it's just a React project. And so that makes it really easy for us to integrate. Shit, I said easy. Yes, let's make it easy enough to integrate what you've included here into that application as just another endpoint, right? We can just make a route and we can say, look, there's the lessons over here, right? And then there's this test environment over there where you can play around with some of these concepts.
Yeah, this makes it very meta, really. The lesson is the content and the content is the lesson.
We need mental models for thinking about applications this way, right? We have some hard work ahead in terms of showing people how Andamio meets the expectations that people might have of a learning management system. But if what they're looking for is Udemy, for example, it's nothing like that, right? Because Udemy is a Web 2 centralized platform, and we're not building that. And if I post learning content on Udemy now, essentially they own it. I get a cut, right? But for all intents and purposes, that content is no longer mine. And that's not the case here.
Yeah, it's totally different if you want to do that self-hosting stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but you could put that on GCFS as well. It
Right.
could be completely off-chain, especially with you were working also on this DNS service. You could put that all. You see all this stuff together. It's like a big puzzle. If all the pieces start to fit, it's gonna, you know.
And once again, even that case, right? We've had some struggles in the DNS project because we've met with people who only have a mental model of the world as it currently is.
Oh,
And so they'll ask us, oh, so it's like this. And we're like, yes, but it's also, here's what we're really trying to do. And same thing comes back to you guys with the word wallet. Is Game Changer a wallet? Sure it is.
yes.
Does it work just like Nami? Well, no, you can actually hook Nami up to it to get certain function, right? Like it breaks people's brains when you ask them to expand their definition of what something is or a model of how it works. So with all of these projects, that's what we have the opportunity to do. But if we don't take on that work, well, then all we're doing is blowing hot air about actually changing the world, because you're not changing the world, right? You're just integrating new tools into the way the world already works.
Yeah. Nami is like a screwdriver and Game Changer is like a tool chest.
We need that metaphor, right? We need to go out and kind of be silly with those metaphors. This is why we need in-person hackathons, because we need a bunch of people in a room just getting drunk together and saying things in all ridiculous ways. Because sometimes when you're just loose and saying something ridiculous, you're likely to like strike gold with what the actual message might be. We're all buttoned up on Zoom all the time. You don't make progress that way.
Well, make a little progress.
We can make progress.
Yeah. So
And Piotr's got a hand up. Sorry, man.
oh, I didn't notice.
That's okay. I just wanted to say, Martin, because when you were saying that you learned so much from React and from this project, and it reminded me of this quote, as I guess, that sucking at something is the first step to becoming good at that thing. So
Yeah,
just yeah.
you've become a little bit good, maybe.
Yeah.
Everybody from, yeah, huge change to and huge thanks to James, of course, for helping us with all this Gimbalab stuff and putting it all together and helping us learn from each other.
What I like from Martin is that I feel like he has like a very Argentinian solution thinking. I mean, he it's like he's a generalist, right? He learned a lot of stuff, and he combines everything to build solutions even out of the box. Because I don't remember talking about an IDE or something like that, even about all the hardware stuff that he done, and he suddenly appeared with, hey, I have these huge, beautiful, super advanced hardware devices. And yeah, that's Martin. So I really like that. And yeah, I mean, everyone, we are all learning. We all have things to learn. So that's right, Piotr. And by the way, hey, Piotr, since ages we didn't talk.
It's been
Nice
a long
to see you.
time. Yeah. It's nice to see you too. Yeah.
Well, Martin, I don't know if you want to show maybe we missed the part where you actually executed the code. we just remember it's frozen. So
Yeah, we can do that. It's not very special. Let me swap. You can see my browser now.
yes, now we do.
So yeah, this is the play button, and it here it's not available, but on the script you can execute it, and then this happens. You get redirected to the game changer site, which does all the work for you. This is by constructing. Maybe we've told this before, but you construct this link. This is what basically the app does with this play button. It takes all this stuff, all these files, and it puts it into a script, and the script gets changed into this link. It's not encrypted. It's all readable if you know how. And you can use a React Game Changer has a library to deal with this data. So you can even check it yourself. Yeah, and then the wallet just decodes the information, what you have just encoded. And yeah. You can see what happens. But we don't have to do this again. It's
Can you show the guys? I think this is nice to be shown now, especially on Gimbalabs. For example, the advanced view.
for learning, advanced
Yeah.
tab is very interesting.
Yeah, and the advanced and the transaction.
I always go to the code section first to check, because we just put all this script together, and then you can check, oh, did I put the like the datum, did I put it in? Did I put in the redeemer, or is the script okay? You can just see what it's going to do. It's building all this intermediate components. And what we want to do now really is to receive also this data into the IDE. Is that maybe something we can do now, Adriano?
Yes, we can start. Yeah, for sure.
Is there another thing you wanted to show? You should take
Yes, very quickly, but it makes a lot of sense. I made some improvements, styling more than others. If you go to the advanced tab on the transaction review, on the signing transaction, upper up.
higher. Oh,
Yeah,
another.
yeah, I mean for you guys here, I mean we all know we have this specification where each part of the transaction seaboard represents a feature that we are consuming, we are using on the transactions, like inputs, outputs, witnesses.
This is CBOR. I can see that. This is like a transaction CBOR. Yeah.
Exactly, but in the same JSON serialization format of the Cardano serialization lib. So the nice thing is that you can, and actually, Martin, you know, we have been doing this since a while. We are using, for example, a lot of. I mean, we use the app connector, this game changer UI to debug, for example, transactions. You don't need to build transactions just to, I mean, to use game changer. You're not forced to do any specific use case. You just can import CBORs, you can sign CBORs, you can build transactions and return the raw transaction without any witness. You can just submit transactions. You can even don't do anything transaction related. You can encrypt code, you can CIP8, sign data. You can do, even you can create gift wallets by code to create, for example, wallets in bulk for events or for a classroom, for example. You can do multi-sig. I mean, it's infinite. One of the use cases of this is for developers, for builders. You can just import a file.
So this CBOR is also CBOR which I can copy paste and then put into the CLI.
Yeah, and actually, Martin, go down to the transactions tab. Game changer. Remember, guys, game changer is multi-transaction. It's a multi-transaction wallet and the app connector, meaning that a single connection from the DApp to the wallet can create, for example, 10, 20, whatever amount of transactions, sign them at the same time and submit them. This is how the file system works. So Martin, now a bit lower. Lower there. Lower. If you click on the download button on the transaction itself, you see that it's on like an arrow. Yes. Next to the key. Yeah, no, the to the right. To the right, next to the right, sorry, to the left.
This one.
Yeah, it's the summer is killing me. That button, yes.
The download.
And now if you click on open in third party color, no, do it again. If you click on open on third party color, you have it on the common,
yeah, this is your CBOR.
Yeah, that's the CBOR of the transaction. So, I mean, game changer is an entire development environment for Cardano builders. So I just want to show you that there is really a lot of features hidden there, waiting for you to discover them. And we are always open to add new stuff.
Yeah. So, what we do here is just scratching the surface of what is possible here. So cool.
And it's like, it sounds like a lot, but we are not lying. 2.5 years of work, a wallet really focused for not just end users, but also for builders. This literally is a wallet also for builders, guys. So keep that in mind. It's maybe it's the first wallet for Cardano builders. You can build entire solutions from here.
Yeah, but
Also,
I think this is also a good starting point for understanding what makes Game Changer work. It's just making a CBOR, so CLI transaction CBOR, just a JSON layer on top of it. And you can just have with GC script, you can just automate some values you put in. So
yeah, that's the very basic principle of GC script. Perfect.
it's a layer on top of the CLI code where you let the wallet, because the wallet has knowledge of your addresses, and that's basically all the stuff you need to do. It has an like a transaction builder, which our other projects are also working on, so it's automated. So you can have all these values, you can make like a manual process into an automatic process. Okay.
But what if we took, for example, this script, we open it on the wallet playground, and we create a quick VApp, so we can paste on that VApp, on the code of that VApp, on the Aston Martin template, to make this to capture the return of the exported data for your ID. Just making making playground from the wallet to build the app for the guys to show to see that, and we can use that code.
Copy this code.
No, the GC script or any. We can just go to the playground, whatever. I am maybe overcomplicating stuff.
That's maybe a step too far for what we want to do now. Maybe that gets confusing.
I mean, by doing that, so okay, whatever you're the captain here.
We have 15 minutes to do something. So
That's why I play it.
I wanted to check first what happens if we have to wait for the transaction to confirm to see the return link now, which we have, because we need this return link to integrate it in the data we get back with the return link, to integrate that into our IDE.
Yeah, I don't know if you inject that URL. Maybe yesterday was not there.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a special function for this. I was thinking that I copied it, but it could very well be that we didn't. And in that case,
it didn't. Okay, in that
case,
what Martin is saying, if it were there, guys, you would have a button that says export back to the VApp the results of the script. In other words,
yeah, no, but it's good that it's not working, so we can show how you make it work.
Perfect.
That should be at the bottom somewhere, right? There should be like a return, or is that over here? Return.
That's a design pattern that depends on the developer. Yes, the most important thing there to have is the return URL pattern property. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It was in the other.
On the former code, maybe it was not.
We had this one, and it should be in here.
And it's not there also.
Is it? No, but that is true. It is not in here, but it's an automatic function in the JavaScript.
You okay? We have to debug the code. So the ID is not injected. I am looking for the documentation, guys, for you to see what we are talking about.
That is the function we need, but I'm not sure. Where was this function?
Can I ask a quick question in the meantime?
Absolutely.
I just wonder, because you guys are talking that we can build dApps with the game changer. Is that correct?
Mhm.
And is it also possible to create like a backend service? Like, say I want to store some data in my database. Is it also possible?
Yes.
Sorry, Piotr, what do you mean? Like using GC as a database somehow?
Say I want to create a dApp that uh, that needs to store some data like my users. So how could I like can I create a dApp that is built on top of Game Changer and um that's storing the user data? Is it possible?
I mean, you can store data on, for example, on GCFS or on chain. That thing, you can use that feature to create fully decentralized and, as I like to say, perpetual applications, because your data will be stored there forever. And if not, if what you want to do is, for example, connecting the wallet to, for example, a backend. If that's the case, Piotr, just in case, I am searching for some docs. First, guys, this is the full documentation of the wallet on the chat. There are a lot of examples, and more are coming. And then there is this library. This library here, Piotr, has this library is the official library where that you can use to encode and decode these URLs, these messages to the wallet, and also it's a CLI, and that CLI generates example codes. One of the examples, for example, is a Node.js, I mean an Express.js backend connecting almost directly to the wallet with no front end required. This is possible with Game Changer. I mean, Game Changer can connect to trees, I don't know, to whatever. You can throw a fruit and it's going to connect with Game Changer. So you have that library also. And regarding GCFS, that we didn't have enough luck on front end to build more tooling around GCFS. That sucks, because that would be perfect for example, what you're asking, because there you would have a library and an API service for querying, for example, data or files from GCFS. Just bear with me, we don't have funds here, and I guess in 2024 that will be done, but it will take a bit of time because we don't have enough fund, basically. But that's going to come, because it not only will improve GC wallet, it will improve everybody's lives. It has to be done. So just be patient. But GCFS is working. I mean, it's so.
Yeah, I found some code. This was part of we started here really. We had this app for locking and unlocking, and it was like, oh, we're very close to building an IDE. Well, let's go one step further, because in this is basically the same thing, only this is more limited. So yeah, this does the whole round trip, this app. So, but this turned into something else. Like, oh, let's use the Monaco editor. And then, yeah, well, one thing led to another. I think this is it, Adriano. This is in this contract app, there's this code, window location.
Oh, okay, Martin. Yeah, that was the first, yeah, the inspiration for the ID.
So yeah, we have to put this return URL pattern into the app. Really?
Yeah,
How are we doing that?
I am replying to Piotr the last the last thing. Sorry, Martin, I am back here with you. Yeah, can we just maybe copy that code, the snippet of code that captures the result and decodes it? Of course, we can explain it and adapt it. You have it on that the app already. Basically, guys, the idea is that each script contains a return URL, a pattern, not just the final URL, but a pattern where in that pattern, the results of the script are going to be embedded there, encoded, compressed there. So then GC Wallet redirects the user to that URL. In that case, the app can capture the URL because it's carrying the results from the wallet, and then you can unpack those results and use them on your app. This is how the wallet to the app communication works, and it's similar to the app to wallet, where the app creates the URL in the first place. The different approach here on GC is that if the user don't want to return data or has any different thought of what's, it has any complaint of what's going to be redirected, the user can cancel the process. The wallets are all the time using our private data. GC Wallet exposes every single use that a DApp is doing on our private data. So we as users can decide if we want to share that data or not. That's the basic. Martin, do you want to explain that line? That's the one.
Yeah, but it's not working. I just tested it.
GC compile.
This was working on the JavaScript, but I'm not sure if the same process works here.
Why it's not working? You mean it's that return your pattern? What is carrying on the final?
Can't assign to property return pattern on Java.
You need to do that over TX object because GC compile is a string.
Oh, duh. So yeah, I was seeing that there's a lot of backslashes in the error code, so okay. I can just do it here. This is still it's also a string.
Okay, maybe to be super sure about everything, you can do it on the TX object. I recommend that a lot.
Sorry, that is much better. It's already a JSON parse.
Yeah. This is guys, what Martin is doing is designing this return URL pattern. It's saying, please game changer wallet, solve me, execute my GC script, and at the end, please give me the results back to windows.location.origin plus the path. So this is localhost, for example. This will be then localhost and the added execution results there. So the app can then parse that and receive the results.
Yeah, on the handle click, we're basically assembling it all into one thing. I think this should work. Let's try. You cannot see what I'm doing, but oh, perfect. Yes.
We're not watching your other screen.
I know.
Okay. We want to see the screen with your mnemonics, and you're not showing us.
It's in there.
Oh man. Yeah, when the lecturer says, "Oh, perfect," to the thing that's off screen, I've done it. That looks great.
Hey, go to the GitHub, try it yourself. So yeah, I clicked on the play button. I can do that again. So no errors, and then in advanced, we can check our work at the code, and that's the return pattern we just added.
Perfect.
It's
That's
going to localhost, but we want it to not go to localhost. We want it to go to a different route, right?
Now it's okay because the DApp is running on locally. It's being hosted locally. But this is I mean, what Martin is right now doing is what an end user could do. Very skeptic from executing something that the user don't trust. The user can go to the code and inspect it. It's not it's not on Haskell. It's not on any very super complex language. Of course, it has its complexity, but it's very auditable code. So users can now know everything what the app is trying to do on their OS.
There's no secrets. All in this code, this is what it's going to do, nothing else.
And you have not pressed the continue, the accept button, so that code is not being executed. And wait, that warning is saying that something is not quite well with the return URL. Like you're returning to a non-HTTPS endpoint. I mean,
this is
different from origin.
Yeah, we get this now because you see, oh, where am I going? Then
exactly. Keep that in mind. I mean, these are the security measures for all these different systems. It's of course different. It's very based on Web 2. Web 2 had these URL redirections since ages, and it's something that is proven very. I mean, it has been proven successful, at least for Web 2. For James, that I know, we have been talking with the guys, with Martin, I guess. Martin, I guess you told me this. Yes, I know that this behavior is not the same as the other CB30 wallets that are injecting code. I know that this is not a pop-up. This being said, with a bit more of love, this can be completely implemented as a pop-up, browser window that can make a redirection, and then upon the end of the execution can auto close. Maybe this can be done. If any of you here want to do it, you're more than welcome, while I'll still maintain the wallet and doing other stuff. But if not, just wait and that will come.
I don't know exactly how
the transports will arrive next year. That's something.
I think integrating this in this IDE would be a nice, everybody could find it and we can put it in here. It's a nice demo.
Perfect. If we get a very cross-browser solution, very solid one, we can add it to the official library as well. Whatever you do, Martin, here can become the official, an official solution. So thanks for collaborating. It's too much work all the time.
Yeah, I wanted to add a different route to return to a different page than the home page for the data. So
see, guys, how you can do that. Martin has done it perfectly. So yeah. Also, Martin, also for anyone, sorry if I am interrupting you, but if you if you type there between curly braces the token result or results, I have to check it on the documentation.
Oh,
Also, that's
like this.
a value pattern. Yeah. So then you can control how GC will construct that. No, it's okay. That's perfect. You can do that. You can pass it as a URL variable. But if you want it as a parameter, as a part of the path, for example, you can do it by customizing it this way. I mean, it's a fully customizable solution. It's not like you have to follow the default URL pattern. GC, this DApp connector has defaults, so you can just code and move on. But if you want to get into deeper details, you have to check the documentation. There are a lot of ways to customize whatever you need.
Yeah, and that was maybe one of the last things we could end up with, which was for me was like, oh, a really aha moment, which is nice to have, right? Oh, no, I'm doing it wrong. Sorry. I need Firefox. Like this export as, this is like the object name of what you get returned. And this works together with this one. And in the beginning it was like, yeah, but it's making all this data and I'm only getting a little bit. That's because you can put this on all, and then you get all the data. Maybe that's too much. But if you do last, and well, in this case, this is the last object. You can, well, if you close all the objects, that would make it more clear. No, not run.
Yeah, the
Dependencies, build log. This is all the objects that are built, and so this is called finally, but if I remove this, it will only return this object. So it doesn't even matter what it's called. So, but if you do finally, you can just refer and build your own object with all the data which is in the cache. And you can then determine, this is what I need in my application to proceed to the next step in my application. This is what I want to return. So yeah, here's a lot of stuff like the address which was used and the hashing of the transaction. Maybe this is even more than you need. You can just, here you determine what am I going to receive back into the IDE in this case. But it's for every DApp, it's the same.
Perfect explanation, Martin. This is very important because at our first shots of this, always it's returning everything, and it's like this is ugly and something is wrong here. No, you just need to read the documentation and customize the code.
Yeah, but
there are defaults. Yeah.
You should know that.
But what you're saying has I won't waste too much time with this, but keep in mind that this return feature allows you to isolate code into scopes and just make, for example, a nested block of code, solve something, and just return what you want. Or maybe don't return anything. Maybe for a security reason, you just want every information there to die on that nested scope. So the parent scopes, the upper scopes cannot read that kind of information, that information, the local information. So what you're explaining here, Martin, has those implications as well. You can create, for example, libraries with local scopes that are not going to be exposed globally. This is very important to understand once you want to build something more advanced with GC script. Yeah.
Right. It's time.
Epic. And Adriano, you said it a few minutes ago. It's the collaboration that makes this all possible. You started something, Martin picked it up and took it in a direction that you never could have. And if that pattern keeps happening, I like where we're going. So
Thank you. Thank you,
here's to
James.
it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for setting a good model. We might have to write a blog post about that part of the story in early 2024, right? How collaborations take root and share a few stories.
Love it. Love it.
But
You're-
officially, that's a wrap.
You guys,
2023 live coding, we did it.
The last one
That's
celebration.
it.
you guys are very, I mean, there is a huge shout out to all of you on one of our latest closeout reports, because 2.5 years here of doors being opened and collaboration at the levels everyone could share, of course, because we are all trying to live, also not just to build but to live. So it's thank you. Thank you, James. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. And support us in Catalyst to Andamio, Game Changer, Helios.
We are open sourcing a lot on this Fun 11. Please support us, because we are starting a process of open sourcing Game Changer wallets. So step by step, but there it is. And it's very relevant for something that is happening right now. So just we invite you to read the proposals. They're were on the job. Not taking in more time for this. Just thanks, Martin, for an awesome presentation.
That was awesome. Yeah, thanks, Martin, and thanks, Adriano. Really
That's it.
cool.
Wishing everybody the best for the rest of this month, into the new year. A lot of us will be around. I'll be working next week, but quieting down from meetings so I can focus on wrapping some projects, writing some documentation. So be in touch if anybody's got questions, if you're around. Otherwise, see you in the new year. Here it comes.
Happy holidays.
You too, Martin.
Thanks. See you across the year. The next one.
Yeah.
See you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, everyone, and Happy New Year.
Thanks,
Thanks.
everybody. See you
Bye
soon.
bye.